Rounding decimal numbers in Excel using the round command. I had inserted data for the distance that have decimal values in the numbers. There are certain features in Excel that can hide the decimal and make it disappear, but it will not change the original value. So the decimal will still exist, but it will be hidden. This can be done through the general and selecting numbers, or through using these small arrows here to increase or decrease the decimal places, or by clicking on the cell format here and change the decimal, or decrease or increase the decimal. All these features will only hide the decimals, and the way to round this decimal is to use the round function, as there are few options in Excel to round numbers that have decimal in it. Here in this cell, type equal sign and then type round and select the first round function, and then click on the first cell followed by comma, and then select the number of decimal places that need to be rounded, whether you need to round 1 or 2 or 3 decimal places to the right of the decimal, or to round the decimal to the nearest whole integer by using the 0 value, or rounding the number to the left of the decimal, whether 1 place to the left of the decimal, 2 places to the left of the decimal, or 3 places, and so on. In that case, a minus number is inserted. To round the first number into 3 decimal places, insert number 3, close the bracket and hit enter. As shown here, the third decimal value is 2, and rounding will round anything equal to 5 or above. It will be rounded up, and any number below 5 will be rounded down. Here number 2 is rounded up to 3. For the second and the third score, the third decimal place is rounded down, and the third one here, third number, the third decimal place is rounded up to 215. We could also round the number 2 decimal places to the right of the decimal. If we insert 2, second place to the right of the decimal is 6, and this is rounded down. Here the 8 is rounded up, and here the 1 is rounded down. We could also round the number to 1 decimal place by inserting 1, and as shown here, the 3 is rounded to 4, 6 is rounded to 7, and 2 is rounded to 20. We could also round the decimal to a whole number or integer by inserting 0. This function or command will round the decimal figures or values to the whole number. So 3 is rounded down to 0, 6 is rounded up to 580, 2 is rounded down to 407. And if we are interested in rounding values by 1 or 2 or 3 places left to the decimal, then insert, let's say if we are interested in rounding the number 1 decimal place to the left of the decimal, insert -1 and then enter. The number is rounded down to 500, the second one is rounded up to 580, and the third one is to 410. We could also round to -2, which is 2 decimal places to the left of the decimal, and this will round down the number to 500. This one will be rounded up to 600. This one will be rounded down to 400. We insert -3, and this will round the number up to 1000, the second one to 1000, the third one to 0. So this is the way to round numbers that have decimal in it in Excel.